Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Highway to Health. I'm Jason Dahl, and it's day 13 of the Health Charter Tour. Sean, Teresa, and the world's greatest health van were in Lloydminster at the Legacy Center, where the room was packed with supporters, heartfelt stories, and a wave of new petition signatures. After that incredible event, they hit the road once again, heading east towards Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, where they're setting up right now for tonight's live event at 6:30 p.m. Central at Christ the Healer LOC campus. It's going to be another great evening as the movement for the Charter of Health Freedom continues to grow across Canada. Today's World's Greatest Health Show lineup is packed with insight and inspiration. Udo Erasmus, world-renowned expert on essential fats, will share timeless wisdom about balance, vitality, and why the foundation of health begins with what we nourish ourselves with.
So share with, and forget about the audience. I'm just now, this is total self-interest. I'm just kidding, audience. But tell us, how are fats damaged? And then I assume it's again, so your body, you said every cell depends on good fats. So fat molecules that aren't damaged, I'm assuming we've got a damaged fat molecule, the body will still take it up, but that function can't work.
Correct, yeah. If you have a damaged fat molecule, it will go in your body, depending on how it's damaged, of course. It'll go in your body in a place that should be occupied by an undamaged fat molecule. And whatever function was supposed to go on in that space, in the molecular architecture of your body, can't happen. So it blocks. It either sidetracks or blocks or interferes with whatever biochemical reaction is supposed to go on there. And then you're taking apart the body's architecture. And guess what? If you do that often enough, then you get a diagnosable condition, right? So what damages oil, my body is my responsibility. The space my body occupies is my territory.
Can I stop
you? I am responsible for that territory.
That's an important point. This realization that you came to, I think it's a big part of our problem, because we just abdicate that to our caregivers. We go to the doctor and just assume that they're going to, help us. We assume that, Health Canada is actually, everything's fine with, our food supply and our drug supply. But you found yourself, wait a second, this is my body and I'm responsible.
Nick Mancuso, actor and truth teller, speaks on the courage to create, to question, and to stand for what's real in an age of censorship and conformity.
I think that Canadians...
Health Canada, yes, well, sorry, Sean, but the fact of the matter is, you and I both know, Health Canada has literally attacked the naturopathic doctors of Canada and the homeopaths and so forth, and has for a long time. We also know for a fact that Health Canada is a signatory to what is known as the Codex Alimentarius, Canada being part of the consortium, and that has definitely declared war on anything other than the standard pharmaceutical companies that control the system, basically. That's just a fact. There's a war on, and Health Canada is very actively participated in that attack. Many doctors, you and I both know who they are. And won't bring up names, but we know who they are, who literally have been attacked by SWAT teams for carrying something like wild yam extract. Boy, isn't that dangerous? And total utter insanity. At one particular point, I know they were even trying to ban things like garlic or oregano. Yes, garlic actually does have antiviral properties and is a natural antibiotic, just the way it is. Oregano does the same thing. Oh, so we have to give it a number and give it a licensing, and you won't be able to grow it in your backyard because it's illegal. I mean, this kind of nonsense has literally disintegrated the brain of the health industry, and the politicals have played along with it because they don't know any better. Chinese emperor several thousand years ago, I forget which one it was, the Yellow Emperor or whatever, he passed a law in China that everybody in China had to pay a few cents to their doctors per year. And the moment they got sick, they stopped payment and they had to be treated. Until you take the profit motive out of it, and that's a problem in our system, then basically there is only money in disease.
Justin Donaldson brings a local lens to the national issue, talking about community-based wellness and how grassroots advocacy protects access to natural health.
In this period, at the same time, we find out my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law are expecting, and they were told very early on that their baby was going to be born with half a heart. So they had to make a very difficult choice there. For them, it wasn't difficult, but again, another strong lady went through, delivered this beautiful baby boy.
But I'll back you up. So they knew that really, basically, immediately after birth, there would have to be emergency heart surgery.
Emergency heart surgery. So immediately upon delivery, the surgeon from Vancouver was away. The baby had to be flown to Edmonton for immediate heart surgery. Was hooked up to this PCO2 monitor that we just bought at the hospital. Where it was at, and when it was getting really dark, I was on this path, and it just happened to be in the short amount of time, my rep from this company that made made Recovery, which is Purica, came in and started talking to me. Have you ever tried lion's mane? Because we were talking about my concussions. I said, no, I don't know anything about lion's mane. Yes, send me the data. And I started reading all this data about nerve repair and concussion benefits and everything too. And I'm thinking, well, I've had concussions, I've had nerve damage, maybe I'm a candidate for this. So I started taking that lion's mane product.
And I'll just slow you down. So lion's mane is a type of mushroom. It's just some people viewing this like, well, what the heck's lion's mane? So lion's mane is a specific type of mushroom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a type of, and it's known, there's data there. It's kind of known, it's really exploded the last few years in the health industry across the world because of the benefits that are getting shown for cognitive health and cognitive function. And there is pretty promising work. If you look onto the data, the peer-reviewed data on nerve repair and everything, it actually has some compounds supposedly that stimulate nerve growth factors. So it's one of the few things that they know that do that.
Dr. Sean Caesar explores integrative healing and the future of evidence-based natural medicine, where modern research meets timeless tradition.
Anti-cancer treatments to basically make sure, because cancer will adapt to just a single treatment. And you've had tremendous success, and you shared some of that with us earlier. I mentioned this one stage 4 breast cancer patient, but is it fair to say, you've just had countless number of patients that came to you because the mainstream medical system was a dead end. They were basically being told there's nothing else we can do. And they've had tremendous success, lived for years and years and years, with quality of life, solely because of naturopathic treatments.
Yeah, and those are a percentage of the patients that we do treat that have said, okay, there's no more cancer treatment that I can get from my oncology team. And then there's a large percentage of patients who are going through chemotherapy. Some are going through their immunotherapies or their targeted therapies, which are new therapies, and they want to work together to get the best results. And a large part of those studies that we had mentioned before, Sean, those ones do use their in conjunction with chemotherapy, and says, hey, if you're taking paclitaxel, IV vitamin C, 4 or 5 studies, increases their chances of fulfilling chemotherapy, increases their chances of living longer, it increases their red blood cell count, their white blood cell count.
Anti-cancer treatments to basically make sure, because cancer will adapt to just a single treatment. And you've had tremendous success, and you shared some of that with us earlier. I mentioned this one stage 4 breast cancer patient, but is it fair to say, I mean, you've just had countless number of patients that came to you because the mainstream medical system was a dead end. They were basically being told there's nothing else we can do. And they've had tremendous success, lived for years and years and years, with quality of life, solely because of naturopathic treatments.
Yeah, and those are a percentage of the patients that we do treat that have said, okay, there's no more cancer treatment that I can get from my oncology team. And then there's a large percentage of patients who are going through chemotherapy. Some are going through their immunotherapies or their targeted therapies, which are new therapies, and they want to work together to get the best results. And a large part of those studies that we had mentioned before, Sean, those ones do use in conjunction with chemotherapy, and says, hey, if you're taking paclitaxel, IV vitamin C, 4 or 5 studies, increases their chances of fulfilling chemotherapy, increases their chances of living longer, and increases their red blood cell count, their white blood cell count.
Tony Stefan, founder of True Hope, returns with the personal story that started this entire movement, a family stand that led to the creation of the Charter of Health.
Delusional states, psychotic states, and he's on 1250 milligrams of lithium a day, and it's not working. There must be a better answer. With all of the billions and billions of dollars in the pharmaceutical industry and the research that's taking place, there isn't a better answer than this? And she said, well, not really. We're going to have to find a better cocktail of medications and sedate him with stronger meds. And I said, what? There's got to be something better than this. And she said, you know what? You're not getting it. And I was very emphatic. I mean, I guess I'm very emotional. I'm on the edge, literally, and so is my wife and the whole family. And she said, you're not getting this at all. Mrs. Stefan, would you take Joseph and please go out in the waiting room? I need to talk to your husband alone. When that door closed, Sean, it was like a shotgun going off in my face. What's the matter with you, Mr. Stefan? Don't you get it? What you see is what you've got, and you're not going to change this, and it's an intractable disorder, and you're not going to reverse this. And he said that had we followed Health Canada's orders to shut down, that we may very well have ended up in court with a greater thing against us, which would involve people being injured, people losing their lives, that we would be held accountable for following their orders.
So, I mean, even just all the letters and calls documented before Health Canada restricted access. Like, I couldn't get my head around psychiatrists saying, listen, my patient's going to die. And doctors saying, my patient's going to die. Like, I've tried all the other, this is the only thing that works. And people saying the same thing. And it's kind of like, you get damaged when you see what happened, and then you realize, actually, as the court found as fact, that people died. Because here you have this regulatory agency that was not concerned about the health of people. Like this you could see the train coming. This was all very predictable, and it, I think we were all affected, and we're probably still affected, and there's nothing we can do about it. But it certainly shows that we need to change the laws so that we do have the right to make our own decisions.
Diane Elms, expert in natural and homeopathic health, discusses individualized care and why the freedom to choose your own healing path is essential. Donna Kizik closes today's lineup with her signature warmth and spirit, reminding us that faith and freedom go hand in hand.
Well, my osteopenia has progressed to osteoporosis, but there is a supplement that my dad took that he had osteoporosis, and he was able to reverse it by taking this bone builder. And his doctor was very surprised because at his age, he said they don't see any reversals normally. So my doctor asked me if I wanted to take the medication for osteoporosis, and of course I said no. I said I'll get something on my own. I said there's a bone builder supplement that's designed to help your body remineralize and put the stuff where it needs to be. So I'd rather take that than the medication, because there's some pretty bad side effects to some of these medications. Mm-hmm. So, and it worked for Dad. So if it worked for him, and I'm 20 years younger than him, it should be able to work for me. So I'm just going to order that. And they have actually a 100% money back guarantee by DEXA scan. So you get your DEXA scan first, you take the medication the supplements for 6 months, and they guarantee that you'll have an increase in bone density on a DEXA scan, or you get all your money back.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's pretty good guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get that with anything the doctor can get. We went to the health food store, and there are supplements that are targeted to fix your gut. And so she took that regime for probably like 3 to 6 months, and we changed her diet to a keto carnivore type diet, and she has never gone back on any of those medications. She had another colonoscopy. Her doctor insisted she have a colonoscopy, even though she had no symptoms, she had no anything. So she told her what she was doing. She says, you can't fix it like that. She says, you just can't. And so she did a colonoscopy. And
don't miss the special feature today, the Grand Prairie pop-up event at Homesteader Health, a proud sponsor of the world's greatest health show. You'll hear from the people and businesses on the front lines keeping natural health alive in their communities.
So it was very important to me to work at the store because I felt like outside of working here, I was going to the gym, I was eating super, super clean, and I just felt like I had a calling to help people as well. Like I felt just kind of educating people and letting them know how cruel the world is, and filling them in on supplements and stuff like that. I just felt like I was here to do that, and I'd come in every single day to this store and asked them if they were still hiring and all that, and eventually I got the job, and ever since then it's just been part of my life, and I'm so blessed to be able to work here. Yeah.
After tonight's live show in Saskatoon, the world's greatest health van and the team will roll on to Winnipeg, Manitoba for the next leg of the Green Highway. And we've got some big things coming up this weekend. Starting Saturday, the Red Highway officially begins in Charlottetown, PEI, with a live taping at the Root Cellar. That event will mark the kickoff of our East Coast tour, connecting Canadians from coast to coast in this incredible national movement for health. And tomorrow at 4 p.m. at Euphoria Health Studio in downtown Whitehorse, I'll be hosting the first leg of the Purple Flyway, connecting the Great North to the rest of Canada in this great adventure. Each new highway, each new province, and each new territory adds to the collective voice behind the charter. Stay tuned because we're just getting started. You can always find the full schedule, tour map, and past broadcasts at nhppa.org/join-the-tour and nhppa.org/live. That's it for today's update from the road, from Lloydminster to Saskatoon. The world's greatest health van keeps carrying the message of freedom, powered by your signatures, your voices, and your belief in the right to choose natural health, even if we have to carry it along on a U-Haul trailer. Join us tonight at Christ the Healer LOC campus and tomorrow right here for updates on the highway to health. I'm Jason Dahl. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the world's greatest health show.